I know there's one here. That's damn
The
sure.
only podcast about gate operator life
That life.
for technicians.
Hmm.
Your host, Michael Brooks and Robert Evers.
Hmm.
Stay tuned for another great episode.
Two rednecks just doing the damn thing out there. One of us is on the boat and one of us is not. What are you doing out there at the lake, man? I know you're still out at the lake.
Yeah, I'm at the lake house or the
You're
camper.
never, I got a feeling you're never going to give that up. I think it's just an excuse saying that your house is getting worked on,
It is.
just so you can just stay at the lake.
Well, you know, my house is right where my shop is at. So for 25 years, I wake up and I'm at work. So I'm like, I want to know what it feels like to drive to work. So
Well,
I kind of
now,
like that better.
now you got the podcast where you're working at now, so you got the second job as well at the lake. How's everything going at the lake house?
It's going good. We're, we had a little bit of rainy weather this week, and it's still slow at the lake. It's the slow season right now, and everybody's not out and about. So, but
Did you
that's about
get
to
any?
pick up here in a little bit.
Did you get any phone calls saying, "Hey, my board is blown up on my gate operator" or anything?
I
Since
got a
you're,
call Friday
Mhm.
evening at the police department in Lumberton, North Carolina, and I just fixed the gate like a week or so ago. Put a new board in it, and he said the gate's been open all week. I said, "You sure?" Because I had that thing working good. And I went out there about 7 a.m. in the morning, Saturday morning, just to go ahead and get it out the way. And
Yeah.
they had the breaker off. So we just flipped the breaker on. The gate took off working. And he
Mm,
forgot he turned it off for something. And
that's
he
what I was about to say. Is how
turned
do
it
you?
on.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? How they'll just be out there and they're like, "Man, we don't know who turned it off or why it got turned off or whatever." It's like, all right, well, it just
Yeah.
cost you $300. So if
Yeah.
that's what you want me to do, I'll turn it on for you. So we got a special guest, Nicole Hage. She's going to be coming on here in just a second. She's with Hage
Mhm.
Fence, and may even talk to a couple of her partners in crime if they're still around. They're living that lake life too. They're living the ocean life out there in
Oh
St.
yeah,
Petersburg. Oh
they're rolling the big time out there.
man, I got to get next to the ocean, please,
Yeah.
man. Move Atlanta. Let's get a hurricane that comes through and get Atlanta closer to the ocean. So,
You
well,
go to
what else?
Savannah, Georgia, man.
Oh yeah, Savannah is that's a is that's in the Gulf, right?
No, that's the
No,
Atlantic.
oh,
It's
is
the
it?
Atlantic.
Does
Yeah.
Georgia go all the way out to the?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh, if it's not anywhere near Dallas, Texas, I don't know what the hell it is. So, well,
Yeah.
what else you got going on gate operator wise this week? You putting
I
any
got a
in?
lot. I got a lot going on. I got go finish one up. Like I got to put a couple wide mouth latches on some gates that I just finished up at that where I was talking to you about the um 400 unit trailer park
Or
complex or whatever you want. Cause it's still a trailer park, but
oh, trailer park. Oh, gotcha.
with the director system, and we haven't finalized that yet. But we're just trying to get them to used to the gate system back working, and I got to finish up the wide mouth latch to the cantilever gates because they all got bent up and hit by vehicles. And
That's one that you put in a long time ago, and then now
yes,
they're updating everything. So
yeah,
you're gonna put access control on that, and that's did we talk about that earlier? Is that the job we were talking about, Cellgate or Door King or whatever?
that's the one me and you talked about when I called to ask your
Gotcha.
advice on what to do, and I didn't take your advice. So
No, well, no surprise. Because the other thing, when people out here are picking parts, like you and I have our favorites,
yeah,
but part of that is if I can't go down to Southeast Access Technologies or Southwest Automated Security or Control Products or Electronic Entry Distributor, I promoted all of them, so no one can
yeah,
get mad. If I can't
yeah,
go down there and I can't pick up automatic SL100, then there's no point in me selling automatic SL100s because
yeah.
you got to work with what you got around. You got to sell what's available today.
And
So
we're gonna go with the new Door King telephone
Oh, are
entry
you?
system with the, and the reason why, because at the last bit of our conversation, you go, well, if you do the Door King, make sure you get video. so
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what I'm like. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
we need some more video as well. I'm sure Nikki's arm's getting tired by holding it up out there at where she's at. So we're going to jump on with her just a second here. But as always, Robert, you've been kind enough to let me promote my classes. I got a class coming up next week for access control. It's Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Just the basics of access control. It is on par with how inexpensive the ticket prices are. You pay for it in a couple service calls. We're going to talk about door strikes, mag locks, telephone entries. And yes, we will be talking about the old Door King telephone entries, because for database purposes, it is exactly the same as all of these other ones, but it's very, very easy to learn. So per a local distributor request, we need to have a loop class. So March 17th, I've got a loop class. It's a short one. It's 6 hours. We're going to do hands-on placement of the loops. And if we can, we're going to show you some of the techniques of how to cut them with a handsaw. We won't be able to use a walk-behind saw or anything like that. And so far, the classes that we've been doing here in Atlanta have been getting positive feedback. All right, so now we're going to go out to our Florida affiliate out there, just doing it just right out there. Miss Nicole Hage out there. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? I found out a big secret today, that your first name is Nicole.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a secret.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of like most people think Brooks is my first name, and they find out that Michael is my first name. So, but no, some people also don't like to be called by their first name as well too. So, anyways, we got Nikki Hage here from St. Petersburg, Florida.
St. Petersburg, Florida. Yep.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
just south of Tampa. We're finally making a good name for ourselves. Now, all of a sudden, people know where St. Pete is.
Well, we know you're in Florida because you're at a bar or you're at a local restaurant on a Sunday evening, enjoying time with friends and family. What all family do you got going on back there? Who's all there?
My husband, Daryl, my youngest daughter, Kayla, her boyfriend, Trevor, and my uncle, Bill, and Aunt Cindy are here from Massachusetts. So we're downtown St. Pete.
Just vacationing?
Oh, yeah. They're here vacationing.
You're not going to turn them into fencers overnight?
No. Well, if
I
could, I would.
I'm outnumbered.
They're retired.
Oh, yeah. They're living that life too. I'd be if I was retired, I'd be right there with you. I love me from Florida.
Right.
A lot of people don't know I was born actually in Florida. So, Nikki, I know a little bit about your story and a little bit how you and Daryl got into the fence business. And when we were having a conversation on the fence cruise last year, I had more operational questions for you than I did your story. So we'll get into that a little bit. But as far as Hage Fence and Repair goes, what do you guys do? What materials do you guys use? What's your service area? And how did you get into the wild world of fencing?
Gosh, it's such a loaded question, right? Yeah. We do everything standard as you would imagine. So your vinyls, wood, aluminum, chain link. We also do specialty fence. So your specialty railing like a pole lock, or if you want a really special design. We love the houses that have custom builds and they bring in these beautiful massive doors and they just want their railing to match the doors. We can absolutely do that. Recently, we've been doing a lot more glass railing. Everybody wants this glass railing. It's gorgeous out on the water. If you want to keep your view at second and third story views, and so it's been pretty nice. Trex. We also are a certified dealer of Trex. We love Trex fencing. It's very strong. And here in Florida, as you can imagine, we want to be storm strong. So everything we do is built to withstand storms.
So that
how did we get started, Brooks? How did we get started?
How did you get started?
We had rental properties, Daryl and I, for years. And the number one biggest expense and hardest person to find was somebody to come fix the fence. Anytime somebody had an issue with the fence, we couldn't find somebody to fix it. So fast forward a few years, Daryl he gets laid off. He doesn't lose his job. He just gets laid off. And I said, hey, you really like repairing those fences. You've learned a lot about it over the years. You have a friend that's in fencing. He can show you the ropes. He already said he would. How do you feel about we'll just start a little small repair company for now. Our oldest daughter was going off to college at the time. It's 8 years ago now. But and he goes, okay, he did. And then I got laid off 2 weeks later and went, how much do you like fencing? How you want to just level up? Because all these people are calling us now, and we're way busy. So do you want to take it to the next level, or how do you feel about that? And this is literally how it started. We didn't know anybody but our one friend that was in fence business. And fun story, that same friend, he works for us today.
Oh yeah, is it anybody that I've met before?
No, I don't think you've met Niall yet. Yeah, but he's been with us for a while. Yeah.
Well, was it really just that quick, or did you? Obviously, you have a business background, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But jumping into something that you have a little bit of experience in, if you will, I mean, did that not just like scare the shit out of you, or like was it super intimidating?
Of course, yeah. But so does getting laid off, and so does feeding a family.
Oh yeah, I guess
you don't have a choice, right? And then you go, oh man, we better do something. We better do it fast. But I was in marketing and sales. This is my background, which I know you're going to touch on. But in marketing, I have insight, and I can go on and say, what are people looking for? And also, if you look at the fence companies that are here in my location, there's some very, very high, reputable, highly respected, reputable fence companies here. And the one thing that they don't want to do is repairs. And so I said, you know what? There's a void in the market. These amazing fence companies don't want to do repairs. We will. And we're going to do an amazing good job at it, right? So we did that. And so when we came in, we really came in as a friend saying, well, let's help you help us. And then now we've just kind of grown over the years, just through people needing more, wanting more, right? So
will you do me a favor and turn around just a little bit? Can you see what's going on behind you?
What is it?
It's just a wild man back there acting crazy. He may or may not be.
Daryl?
I think it is. Yes. Oh, now he's going to play all innocent back there. Okay.
Yeah.
Robert, what about you? As far
we
as
take life very seriously, bro. So we're very serious people around here.
Yeah.
We just witnessed that they just hit my car too. You see? Welcome to Florida. They just hit my car.
Are you
You're
serious?
on camera.
Hey, we got it on camera. And a lot of eyewitnesses.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad everything's going good for you down there. Oh my God.
Welcome to Florida. Yes. This is the Florida show. So
well, it'll probably be, hopefully it doesn't turn into some, oh no, well she hit me. Well, at least you've got Daryl there to protect you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. We're good.
No, so anyways, Robert, on your end, what's the percentage of new installs versus repairs on the fence side of things?
I'm involved with both. It's kind of 50-50 with me.
And did you find it one of those things that's because where you're at, like you have the ability to do both? Because I know some fence companies that I worked for in the past, they're like, any fence repair is $5,000 because they don't want to do them. Because they literally want to stay away from them. Yeah. What's your experience with that, Robert?
Well, I experienced it last year where one guy put a price on a job for $6,000 and it weren't but 30 foot of fence. So, and I said, I'll do it for 2,500, you know. And the guy was kind of upset because he was been hiring this guy to do fence work. And he said, well, he kind of gouged me. I was like, yeah, he did gouge. He just don't want to do it. You know, he probably don't have time to do it. And at the rate he's putting fence up and making money, he don't want to stop his money flow to worry about this. But however, to me, it's the same money flow because you actually make more money on repairs because you're using less material. Sometimes you can reuse the material that's there as much as possible, and then use a little bit of yours, and then you have a low material margin that you used, and then you got a higher profit margin you know, because you got that much room to work with. So that's why I like doing repairs. I'll never stop doing repairs because sometimes it's easier. You can make your money in a half a day and go back to the shop and bullshit.
Yeah. Brian,
Don't tell my guys that. If my guys are watching this, no, you cannot.
That's just joking. We don't do that either. We try to line them up. If we got to
I know.
repair jobs, you know, we line them up if they're close by in the area. We line them to do like 2 or 3 maybe. You know.
Your family is crazy. They're all back there giving you bunny ears and stuff. Anyways, Brian Fredrickson says, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And
Hey, Brian.
Favorite people in the whole world.
He is definitely good.
In the whole fence world.
Yeah. Not in anything but fencing. That's all he's good for. Because we know he's not good for mountain biking or skiing. He's horrible at that. But anyways, he said his minimum fence repair is $500,000 with no warranty. So.
Well, hey, send me some of them repair jobs. I'll do it for 400.
Yeah, there you go.
Me too.
Yeah.
Even fly out your way.
Yeah, I know he does.
Tag team.
Yeah, he does a lot of fence repairs out there where he's at in his operation.
And I had a guy on one of the either the pro fence page or the fence industry page. I can't remember which one. He made a comment saying, "Should I charge to go look at a job that's 2 hours away?" And I made a comment, and I was like, "Look, make a day trip out of it, because you might meet a connection that will lead you to a better opportunity and a better job in that area, and you might be getting calls from certain people in that area to come do a fence." So I'm like, go take your wife out to eat, whatever, and go make a connection.
Yeah, speaking of spouses, we just found out something new, that the Daryl guy is actually married to you. Is that what the whole deal
Was
is?
that the same one you had last year?
Yeah, he's still around. Yeah.
You got to
28 years together. We'll be married 25 years in June.
Oh man!
Well, congratulations!
Thank you.
I can't think of 2 nicer people that should be married to each other.
Well, I feel sorry for you. You put up with him for 28 years, so
I never seen y'all in a bad mood in the times that we met, or have a crossword between you. Now that may be different on Monday morning without y'all's coffee, but no.
I told you, if you hang out with us in the office, you'd have a different.
Oh yeah, it's always different.
But we hired a project manager, so we're best friends again.
Oh, good.
And the bridge between operations and sales has been connected.
Well, that's great.
Michaela says hi to everybody. She can't wait to see you at Demo Days. See, I thought Demo Days.
Love Michaela.
I thought Demo Days was this week, and then you come to find out that the Fence Cruise is this week.
The Fence Cruise, yes. Demo Days. We're so excited. And they brought it to Florida. I mean, how exciting. You know, Florida is such a melting pot. And there's amazing things to see. And literally from Jacksonville to Key West, you feel like you're in a different state, depending on where you're at. And they went centrally located. We are so populated with fence companies, suppliers. I mean, just in my county alone, I have 960,000 people in Pinellas County. Wow, 960,000. Awesome. Yeah, and some of the people I've met at like the retreats and stuff, they go, "Whoa, I have 9,000 in my county." So we have a massive county here. And the fact that Brian literally just came here, stopped off and met different fence companies, different suppliers. I'm going to admit, I've already messaged him and say, whoa, where are they located? Because I didn't even know they existed. I had no idea. And now they're going to be a really good railing person for me because they do all in-house fabrication. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We feel very, very blessed that he's coming here. So super cool. Very excited for Demo Days in case they couldn't catch on.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for the FWA to get out of Las Vegas and do other projects outside of Las Vegas. So they
blessed for them, but really blessed for us, right? Like exciting for us. The fence company's here. Yeah. You get hands-on. The stuff maybe they don't get to go to Vegas, which I don't know how because it's so easy to go to Vegas actually. Yeah. But maybe they don't get to. And then now you brought it right here where we have a massive population of fence people. I think it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that they're doing. It's a lot of effort they're putting into it. But man, I know for me, I'm extremely appreciative. And I think the people who get to experience it and do show up are going to be very, very appreciative of it too.
Well, Brian, if you're still on there, Brian, make sure you put a link for demo days and the fence cruise. I can't make it to the fence cruise. Like I was telling Nikki, all my classes and stuff, I've been doing it just based on AI and saying, hey, what events are in this geographical area and what are the best days? And it has hit, not only did it hit on the fence cruise this month, but it hit on demo days next month. But I'm going to see if I can still make it out to demo days. So now that we now that we found out that Daryl was just more than some guy that works there, what other family do you have that works with you? And I know, Robert, you work with some of your family. I could not work with my family. They would kill me, and I would kill them. So what other family do you have working for you? And what's that dynamic like? Because it's got to be tough if you guys really just don't get along. How does that work out for you?
We definitely get along, right? So I know we've all heard the stories. You should never work with family, but we're very tight-knit, close family. I was blessed enough to have both of my daughters work with us. My oldest daughter has now gone and taken a job for Brown & Brown Insurance. She actually was a speaker. Brian and Yadira welcomed her in as a speaker at the Fence Show last year. She did amazing. She had 2 different speaking engagements there. And now she's actually going to speak at the retreat coming up with Sean King. So she's really excited. And that's my oldest daughter. My youngest daughter, Kayla, is still in school. So she's one of my top estimators. We're just opening a new office in Sarasota, which if you're not from here, it's just over the bridge, just over the Skyway Bridge. So we're moving south. And she's interviewing salespeople right now to move us down a little bit more south.
So is that gonna be
and then I have a nephew, Hunter, who's here. My other nephew, Damon, has worked for us. My brothers come on every now and then. Daryl's dad worked for us for a long time. If you call my office line, my dad, who's retired, still answers the phone. My sister runs my life. If I didn't have my sister, Kristen, in the office, I wouldn't even know what I was doing. So we are very much a local family owned. And then our other employees, all my guys and their helpers, we treat them like family. We feel like they're family. We appreciate them very much every single day. So we're all very much a tight team.
And I heard you're bringing on your aunt and uncle this week as well too.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right. Yeah, retired. Yeah, right. You don't come here to retire. You come here to work. He's wearing our hat, so technically they're advertising.
You know, that's kind of like the American dream too. Is to work with family.
Yeah, what the heck? And, yeah, right.
You know.
Robert, you work with your dad and your mom has a little bit part in the business as well too. And I know your daughter worked for you for a little while doing some service. How's that dynamic for you?
Well, in the beginning it was kind of rough, but you know, you remember that motorcycle show, Orange County Choppers?
Yeah.
That was me and my dad all the way.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah.
And then a few years go by, I've been doing fencing my whole life, so I wasn't gonna do nothing else. And then we finally came up with a plan. We went with it, and then my mom always worked another job. She worked at a bank and stuff. So, and then it was just me and him running it, like we've been having. Then now my brother, he's older than I am. He's blind, and he's gonna be in the office running our office for us. So, and he's gonna be with me whenever my dad retires. So my dad's planning on retiring in a year or so. He's 75 years old, still working, and so he still is the majority owner. And I got a business started, but I haven't done it with it because I'm waiting on him to say, all right, I'm done. But I'm gonna have my brother with me helping running my business in the office and all that.
Man. I just couldn't do it, man. My brother, he already wants to kill me, and we ain't even in the same state.
Yeah, I know. Y'all ain't talked to each other in 5 years.
No, my brother and sister-in-law have been so great because my mom lives with them now. My mom did not want to be a weekend grandma, and she moved in with my brother and sister-in-law and got to see my niece grow up. And my niece is now going to graduate high school early with an associate's degree, and she has, I think, already been accepted to dental school. So she's pretty smart. See, my niece is unlike your daughters back there making faces and posing and all that stuff behind your back. She would never do that. That one's the mean one right there. The one that's with you is the mean one, pulling on my ponytail. Mr. Old Man, is that ponytail real? Is that ponytail real? She's mean. So you got to watch out for that one. No, your daughters are super sweet as well, too. So real quick, I'll get to do some general housekeeping. We got some new videos coming up on YouTube, my test equipment and my cut thumb that I have and a couple other videos, and want to thank everybody for sponsoring the YouTube channel. It just keeps growing. And we're getting more videos out for you every day. We got a couple hundred videos on it right now. So if you haven't gone to Two Smooth Operators, make sure you do. Nikki, you have a background in you had a marketing job at one time. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, thanks. I'm going to age myself here, Brooks, but I have over 25 years experience in sales, not including a fence owner. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead and laugh it up. Laugh it up.
You started in kindergarten. I got it.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, the last 10 years, I guess, of my career was in marketing. Yeah. Websites and running, SEO and really learning the backdoor and the foundational stuff of that, and Google AdWords and all the things. But it's changing. It's changing every day. So.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, but about the marketing part of it, because I don't think a lot of people recognize that marketing is actually what the business is. It's not about doing the fence part of it, because you, for the most part, and I don't want to speak for you, but knowing other fence companies, you're not really selling any other product that your competitors can't get. So if your competitors have the same exact product, it's basically, why would I buy from Hage Fence as opposed to ABC Fence Company down the street? So marketing is the business. Is that one of the things that helped lower that barrier to entry, because you had a marketing background and you just jumped into fence? Did that make it a little bit less intimidating, knowing that you could market one thing, you can market another?
I mean, like, for sure, I was able to go online and see that people were searching and looking for a fence repair, so I knew that there was traffic out there. I knew that there was a target market for it. But the whole reason that I felt confident in pursuing it is because of my husband. My husband is very meticulous, and he's very, very, we like to call him MacGyver around the office. He figures it out, and he's very perfectionist. He's a perfectionist, and he wants to do it right every single time, and he really, really cares about the customer. And so that is really what gave me the confidence. I'm like, hey, the business is there, but you're only as good as your name, and you can't take that back, right? You don't get a redo on your reputation. So that's really what fed me to keep on going. And then also, I do a lot of networking. So I always have, I always will. I believe wholeheartedly in networking. I think it's who you know, not what you know sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of times. And I belong to a massive network of amazing friends. They become my friends, my family, but it's really my marketing group that I'm training every single week to learn, what does Hage Fence need and how can I be a good steward for you? And I help them grow their business. So it's super amazing when then in turn they help me grow mine.
And when you're talking about the network, you're talking about people that aren't in the industry, not people that you pay for, but just a network of friends that you have.
I'm talking about landscapers, paving companies, GCs, builders, pool builders. I mean, I'm talking about laser hair removal, right? Like these people, they meet people and homeowners every single day. You have no idea what they're, all right, I'll show my age again, Rolodex. But their contacts look like, right? So I go in there and I know exactly who it is I'm looking to meet. And how do I know how many of those people that they know to meet, that they know or they have in their contact sphere, if you will? And then the same goes the other way. I have my estimators out there. They're constantly going, hey, I noticed you just moved in and you're doing a lot of upkeep on your home. We're getting ready to paint. We're getting ready to get new windows. We're getting ready to do our, this and that. And you know what? We're born and raised here. I know all the 5-star rated companies, and here in Florida, you have a lot of people to sift through, and you don't know if they're good or not. Here, I know the ones that are great, and let me just throw their hat in the ring. And this is how, we feed each other. And it's been amazing. It's an amazing thing.
my cousin, she's in Jacksonville. Her name's Melissa. She's on watching right now, and I guess she didn't know you now have one more contact.
Yay.
She has several different things that she's running. Part of it is in the pool business. So she says hi. Brian Davis, one of our buddies out there, he says hi. So two more things, and then I know your arm's got to be getting tired, so I'm gonna let you go. So the two other things are about gate operators and about what software you use and what software you couldn't deal without. So let's talk about the software real quick. I'm an old school QuickBooks guy, and having my CRM that ties into QuickBooks was basically my two go-to things until I started going more digital and I started to use Google Workspace a lot more to do all my scheduling and things like that. What is your one software that you touch every day and or are thankful for having it? And then what's some other software that you just can't live without?
Okay, so I started this company we started 8 years ago, and I did it through a Google Calendar with my Gmail. Everything was Google Workforce, right? I finally went kicking and screaming, interviewing different CRMs, and we finally landed on Jobber. Thank you to my good friend from Front Rock Fence over at Matthew Wynn, made me sit down and actually concentrate on it and learn it and helped walk us through it. And now we love Jobber. I can't live without it. And it actually, it's if you worked in Google Calendar, and this is something that their calendar is amazing. And then it also ties into my QuickBooks, and it also offers financing, which we never had to do for a long time. In the last couple of years, we find ourselves being asked a lot more, do you offer financing? It wasn't our customer base for a long time, and now it is, right? So we love it that it also incorporates that without me having to do any thought at all.
Well, I know Robert, we've talked about some of the stuff that we use day to day, but the Google Workspace was what I ended up actually using day to day. It was $15 per person. There was nothing extra special about it, but it integrated with my CRM, which integrated with QuickBooks, and it all tied in together. And I know a couple of people out there that use Jobber. Is there anything else? Do you do any like private messaging thing or anything like that, or are you strictly an email type person?
So we're dipping and diving in AI right now, but I'm not settled on anything. But we use Company Cam a lot too. So Company Cam and Jobber work hand in hand, and Jobber has an open API, so they can really talk to a lot of different softwares, which is another thing that makes them amazing. But Company Cam has been definitely a deciding differentiator, for us and the crew. And the sales crew and all of us.
So Robert, you do fence and gates. All right. So a lot of fencers out there are trying to make that decision.
Oh, my salesman too.
oh, my salesman.
We love my sales. We've been using my salesman for years, and we absolutely love it. It helps us streamline some of the tire kickers too. So
yeah.
And
my salesman, what does that do for you?
Yeah.
My salesman, it just allows them to go onto our website. It says, get a quote, instant quote, basically. Okay. And they can instantly quote themselves, and they draw it up themselves. So we all, once they come through and they make it through the funnel, it's basically a sales funnel is really how we use it. And then once they make it through the sales funnel, they basically qualify themselves. And then once I get the email, I know that they're qualified because that means that they want to learn more. And then we contact them, and they're not tire kickers anymore. They're not going, oh, I didn't know I did not have any understanding that a fence was going to be $10,000. Well, they do. They get an idea. Like a fence is going to be between $6,000 and $8,000. And yes, I'm ready to pursue it because we all know a fence is a budgeted item, right? You don't wake up tomorrow and go, you know what? I just decided I want a different color fence today for no reason at all. It's just like getting a roof. You don't care about your roof until you have to. And I always said a fence is kind of the same way.
I think I was telling Robert about it the other day. I've got a consulting client that I worked with. He actually doesn't ever go to the job site before my salesman takes care of everything. And they're signing the contract and giving him the down payment the first time that he goes to the job site, which is to install the fence. And I was just like, there's no way you could do it. He's like, for every time that we have a manhole cover or a transformer that's in the way that we didn't see on Google Maps or they didn't tell us was there. It saves us so much time as opposed to having to go out to every single job and literally just having a salesperson just do that. So one of the things in the fence world, at least I've experienced, that a lot of people come to me is, do I get into gate automation? And Robert, you do both, but you guys have always done automation and fence. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
And you don't find it to be a big deal. You just do it, right?
Well, it is a big deal. It's two different styles. It's 4 businesses in one, really, because you got the repairs. Well, it's several different businesses. You got the repairs and fencing. You got the residential. You got the commercial. You got the industrial, and I do all that. And then you got the residential gate installs, commercial gate installs, and then the industrial gate installs. Then you got the service.
So
gate automation.
On your end, where you're at, Nikki, are you guys doing automatic gates, and do you do them in-house or do you sub them out or both?
No, so we sub out all of our automation. We've dipped and dabbled and talked about bringing it in-house. We talked to you, Brooks, about bringing it in-house. We've been to your trainings. I brought my employee to your training when you just did that in Vegas last year, and it was awesome and amazing, and so much information was given. And the warranty alone is a lot, right? Yeah, you guys do a lot, and we're in the lightning capital of the world, Florida. Yeah. And these operators are shutting down all the time. And so we've partnered up with an amazing company, Jim Kelly over at Kelly Auto Gates. And I keep saying, if he retires, that's when we're going to have to take it on, because we've tried to use other companies in the past as subs, and it just, you really have to be prideful in your work. So I commend you guys for doing it. It's a lot of work. To me, it's a whole nother company though. It's like literally a whole nother company.
Yeah, it's like
and a whole other warranty and all different crews and so many different skill sets, and it's taking on. It's a whole other animal, you know. So this past 18 months, we decided to take on more railing, and that was the direction that we were going to take with the company, because it was a much easier transition for us to bring in than adding on all the automation. And we're very, very blessed with somebody we love. He does a great job.
That's cool, because the railing goes right along with fencing nearby. Because I have done. I don't do railing no more because I got the gate automation side, so I quit doing railing because it took too much of my time. Because that's not real easy to put up either. You got to make sure you put that stuff up right.
Oh yeah, it's a huge liability.
Yeah, very. And there's codes you got to follow with that too.
Yep.
I would caution everybody that's thinking about doing it. One, find a good strategic partner to start out with. You can always use them if you need a second set of eyes to figure something out. The biggest thing that I have with people doing the getting into automation is they don't want the phone calls on Friday night going, hey, my gate's not closed. So I try to tell people this: if you're thinking about doing it, remember it doubles the complexity of the business. So you literally just turn one job into two. You're like, well, it's not really two. Yes, you need a different technician, a different set of tools, a different truck, different warranty, different contract, and so on. You may still have the same accountant doing the stuff and the same bookkeeper and the same administrative staff, but it literally doubles the complexity of the business. So, Nikki, thank you so much for spending time. I know your arm's probably killing you right about now.
So awesome. You know, we love you guys. We love you guys so much. I'm sorry we're not going to see either one of you on the cruise.
Well, I won't be on there, so.
Well,
I know, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Next year we'll have to make sure that we get out there. We'll have to do a podcast from it. All right, tell Daryl and your family and everybody you said hi, and
I will do. Yep.
Have a good week next week. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. See ya.
Welcome.
Man, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, first car accident on a on our podcast.
Yeah, that is the first car accident. So yeah, man, that getting into gate operators is a tough thing.
And the thing about that, at least they're smart enough to know, hey, we gotta sub this out. We'll find somebody that can do it, and that's smart. And because, like you said, it's double the load. And once you double the load, life becomes miserable if you can't get it organized or have the experience to know what to do.
Yeah, that's the tough part, because there's stuff that comes up now to doing what I'm doing with the new company now. Uh, Thanks for jumping on, Kevin. Kevin Poole had, as a small business with limited management power, we just had to refer all of our automation to a good contractor that handles installation and warranty calls.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
The gate operator part of it, unfortunately, you and I have discussed this many times, that there are no two jobs that are alike.
None.
And if you're going to do garage doors, you're probably going to go to every single garage door, and you're going to have the same opening, the same width, the same height, some type of aluminum panel, and a garage door that's always mounted in the same place with the outlet right next to it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do overhead doors, commercial overhead doors, if you're doing just vinyl or board on board or chain link, I mean, they're all going to be something to where the installation is not going to throw you off. Where what we have to deal with, I mean, sometimes we might find that they've hooked up all the lighting to the gate operators, and now all of a sudden the gate operators don't want to turn on until dusk, or turn on when it gets dark and then turn off at dusk. So anyways, yeah, we just have a different thing, and people are expecting us to react a lot faster than they are to fence repairs. For the most part, I'm sure you've had your emergency call for fence repairs. But for automation, I mean, people got to get out. People got to get in. Excuse me. So, but yeah, it doubles the complexity of the business. It's a whole nother business, and I don't think there are enough technicians out there that are really good. And in order to be great, all you have to do is be good in the automation part of the business. But it takes a lot of disciplines. I mean, we're doing welding, electrical, electronic, electromechanical, all of that stuff, and not having two things that are similar. I mean, when you pull a Chevy C2500 into the mechanics, he's seen that truck before. And on top of that, you're bringing it to him, where we got to go out with our tools and control boards and motors and all that stuff and figure it out for ourselves. So the gate automation part of it is not easy. I just enjoy it to death. That's why I love learning more about it.
Yeah.
And by the way, Florida just lost the lightning capital of the world. It is now Oklahoma, Oklahoma, which was still up there, but they have more lightning strikes than Florida as of right now. And ground rods have been my grounding and ground rods. And do we need to install them have kind of been like a hobby of mine as of lately. So we don't know whether we're supposed to install them or not install them. But
yes, we're supposed to install them because
according to the manufacturer, we are. Yeah. But do they do any good?
No.
Could they actually cause more problems than they help?
It's possible.
Yep. So we've been talking about it. And thanks to Jeremy Brummels from Nice High Security for reaching out about one of the posts that we did about ground rods and explaining.
Yeah, that was cool, Jeremy. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was very nice. I actually love to have you back on the podcast here sometime soon. But it was super nice that he reached out and gave his opinion. And we had this debate in my office, and they were talking about feeder circuits. That it's you were treating it as like you're doing a feeder circuit out to another building, and that is not what we do. What we are dealing with is a branch circuit, and the difference between a branch circuit and a feeder circuit is a feeder circuit, in essence, goes from a panel to a disconnect and or another sub panel. And when you're doing that, you have to ground that sub panel. There's some other things electrically that you don't do. You don't bond the neutral, which you do at the main panel, to the ground. But no, they're not feeder circuits. We are not dealing with anything that's coming from the service side of the equipment. So we're dealing with a branch circuit, and a branch circuit does not require a ground rod. And the post that I put up of a flyer that one of the NEC consultants had showed and said that actually putting in ground rod could cause damage to the equipment by giving it an alternate parallel path for a lightning strike to go through the ground rod, through the ground conductor over to the panel and back out to that ground. And although it doesn't technically touch the equipment that's there, that magnetic field that accompanies any energized circuit could damage the equipment. So the answer is I don't know, but I do know legally if the manufacturer says that you have to put it in, NEC says you got to do what the manufacturer says do, even though on the other page they're saying that if you do this, it may actually damage your equipment. They still rely on what the manufacturer says do.
Yeah.
So there's I don't think it's an art. I just think that we need to figure it out and figure out why we're doing it. But ground rods do not, and the way that we install them, they do not clear a ground fault. They're not going to clear a ground fault in most circumstances, and they are not there to as a lightning protection system. The National Electric Code, which is NFPA 70, is about electrical hazards, if you will, safety and surges, and NFPA 780 is lightning protection. And during the in the National Electric Code, and after this sentence I'll stop because it just gets so boring. And the National Electric Code, which is NFPA 70, it says shit about lightning protection, but what it does is it's referring to what's in NFPA 780. And I know some of the shit that you've done out there with the I forget every time, like the towers, the cell towers and stuff. Yeah, like they had a very specific procedure that was not just putting a ground rod in the ground for lightning protection. Is that correct?
They would put a ground rod in if they didn't run the copper wire to a certain location. Then you had to put a 6 foot or 8 foot, 10-foot ground rod in.
And I would imagine they probably actually have to do some testing before they walk out to make sure that it meets a certain amount of or doesn't have a certain amount of resistance. But anyways, that's above my pay grade. I just want a manufacturer to look at me and go, this is why they do it, and explain it to me in layman's terms, so I could start teaching in class exactly how it's supposed to be. But as of right now, the way that I see it's ground rods actually can cause more problems than they help alleviate for the way we do gate operators. So, all right, man, I got a big week of teaching next week. What do you got going on?
Monday morning, I got some repair work on some gates, and then got to install an operator, and then I got a chain link job Tuesday morning, try to finish up at White Lake here. And then I got a dumpster enclosure. Then I got a big job at Jacksonville, North Carolina, at a mini storage to start with 2 gate operators, 1 slide gate on a track, and then 1 double gate, 20-foot double gate. And the one I'm doing on the track has to be custom made and everything. Because
on a V track?
Yeah, I got to do a V track. The ones I just despise, but I got to do it because it's in the drawing of the plans, and we can't budge from it. And I would rather put a swing gate there because when they designed it, they didn't allow a whole lot of room to slide back. So it's a 20-foot opening with 21 foot to slide back, and it hits the property line.
I wonder if you might have to do a rear mount. Or use, that's what I like about that SL100 DC is it's really thin. So if you can get your chain bracket dead on and get your guide roller out of the way, guidepost out of the way, you might be able to make that work. It's just going to get super tight at the end.
Yeah, it's going to get super tight at the end, and we're just going to have to do it as we go, figure it out. When I get there and start on it, I pretty much got everything figured out in our heads. Me and Dad's been talking about, well, we're going to put a guide roller at the top, bottom. Track's going to go all the way across the opening and where the gate's going. He's wanting to put the wheel on the front, wheel on the back.
Are you going to go through the curb, or are you just going to have the back of the gate on top of the curb?
I believe they got it where the curve, it will go through the curve. I think they got it where it's the curve is gone. So, but they didn't pour the concrete in where the gate opening is.
Oh, gotcha.
So they haven't asphalted yet. So they're going to asphalt it, and after they asphalt first, I gotta go put the loops in the gravel.
Yeah.
And then after that, they're gonna pave it, and then after that, I'm gonna get my post set and then cut the asphalt out for the track and pour concrete.
Shit, I'd go out there and put my stub ups fucking as quick as I could to tie into on your gate track, especially if there's blacktop. But everybody has their different way of doing it.
Well, they got the concrete. The asphalt guy said to just do it after he gets done because his trucks are gonna tear it up.
Yeah.
And he said just wait till they get it done and then go do what you got to do. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's going to be a task. I like cantilever gates and swing gates, but every now and then I have to do one that, I don't prefer, but it is what it is. But they can't change it because where the job site is in Jacksonville, North Carolina, they are very strict on what you can do. So you got to follow exactly what the plan says.
Is it historical district or something?
No, it's a Marine base area.
Oh, well, that's that. Yeah.
So, but it's not on base. But I talked to the electrical contractor, or my dad did, and he said that out of the whole state of North Carolina, he says he works all over the state of North Carolina. He said that Jacksonville was the toughest place for as like stick to the plan, So,
well, good luck with that. I think we're starting to do more truck and track where that's what they're wanting to go with. I haven't been involved in much of that. V-Track's the most popular thing that there is in the major markets, with the exception of Florida. I mean, so you'll see more of that out there, and there's nothing wrong with it. People falling off the track and all that stuff is easy to solve. And it still doesn't get you any more or less reliable than a truck and track or cantilever system or whatever the hell else there may be out there. But it's the easiest one for people to figure out. Well, what I see a lot here in Atlanta is they go back into those troughs. And as you go back into that trough, it doesn't matter. You're going to kill those wheels. You're going to have bad wheels every year, every 18 months. And a lot of people think putting the sealed wheels in there are better than putting a inexpensive cast iron wheel. And I go back and forth on that. But I like the cast iron wheels because you can lubricate them with the physical grease, and that physical grease will physically hold the water and all that stuff out there.
Yeah, so you like the cast wheels that you can grease. What's your opinion on the other wheel?
Well, on the with the sealed bearings, so it's kind of like a sealed lead acid battery. It's actually technically not sealed, right? Yeah. So a sealed lead acid battery is not sealed. It will allow for off gassing in case there's too much pressure that gets built up in the battery. And then that little plastic, so it's kind of like waterproof or water resistant. So the sealed bearing wheel is water resistant, but it's not maintainable. That's not as in quotes, because technically you can pop that seal off and put lubricant in there. It's not designed to do that. So when you pop the seal off, the little rubber piece in the in a sealed bearing wheel, you're now most likely damaging the seal to make it actually less reliable in the future. But it's not a sealed bearing wheel. Water and dirt and debris can still get in there. And I have not ever found one of those trough situations where there's dirt and debris back there where the wheel doesn't get damaged from that. So that's the thing. Now, with the cast iron, because you can just pump grease all the way in there, you're still not sealed, but that physical grease holds all the water, dirt, and debris out of it. But you still have to do that, whatever, once a month, once a quarter, once every 6 months.
See, the thing is, I'll have a service contract on this one for sure. And,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to put that in there, and plus, I may have to put it in there. Gonna have to keep the track clean. Maybe when the lawn guy comes, he can take a blower and blow everything out while he's cutting grass or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what we tell them, and we tell them that they have to blow it from the gate operator out, not towards the gate operator, because then you end up with another problem, which you already know. But I'm just saying for anybody else, you blow from the gate operator away, to get the dirt and debris out. So you're not blowing water, dirt, and debris into the gate operator. But yeah, I mean, that might be one of those situations where either they have to pay more. I just factor a set of wheels in every year. So there's another $250 that they have to have per gate every year in their service contract, or just not cover it in the service contract. We cover wheels. Or when I had my own company, we would cover wheels in the service contract. But just like I was talking to somebody last week, is the only way that we're covering that stuff is if it's new, and then we cover it. So we have to get everything up to a certain standard, and then we start to cover it. So if you go into a property and you're like, oh shit, they need new chain bolts, they need new chain, they need new wheels, they need new limit switches, they need new limit cams, the belts, the drive belts are all screwed up. They have to get all of that stuff brand new, and then we start to cover it. Because if I can maintain it every quarter, I can get a lot more life out of it. But that's just the way that I did my scheduled service contract.
So on the wheels, how long would they be working until you have to replace them? Say the gate opens 20 times every day.
It's not the opening, it's the dirt, debris, and water in that trough. And that any kind of dirt and debris that's back there, right? Because did you say this is for storage or for trailer? For
mini storage,
right? So the good thing is the gate is closed all the time, right?
Yeah.
So back in the trough is that back wheel is not going to be in there that often. The downside to that is if it's in any trough whatsoever, whether it's in the front or the back, it'll shorten the life of the wheel. So me personally, if I had a service contract, I would just put 6-inch sealed bearing wheels in there and just tell them that I got to replace them every year. But if they don't blow that out and get dirt and debris, much less if they make the trough where the dirt and debris settles where the wheel is, then it's just going to shorten that life. I mean, it's almost like you took a chain and threw it in water. You know how those things will, I mean, you put a chain, you just leave it in water. After that manufacturer's oil and grease wears off, which is a very short period of time, you're going to pull that thing out and it's going to be just a kink after kink after kink. It's not going to be a good chain. So it's not going to last that long.
Okay.
But go out there and just tell them, look, we're going to have to check it every 6 months. I'm not going to cover it for the first 2 years. And then after that, if we can get a year out of them, I'll put it in the contract and we'll cover it. Or 2 years, I'll put it in the contract and we'll cover it, and go from there. But yeah.
But you still charge for the price of the wheels, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I reverse engineer it. So basically what I do is I look at everything that's going to have to get replaced. Now, granted, I reverse engineer what the contract is going to cost. The biggest cost for me is actually labor, because keep in mind, I got to get everything up to brand new standards that I'm going to cover first. So that means replacing the chain bolt, and you can do that with somebody over the first year. So if let's say they got 4 gates. 4 gates is the maximum that I have before they actually start getting a discount. 5 gates and on the same property, I'll start to give a discount. Let's just say that they got 4 gates. So, and there's B-track gates and they're chain driven gates. They're all sliders. So that chain, each one of those chains for each one of those gates is $400. The chain bolts, master links, maybe let's say another $100 for all of them. But let's just say you got $1,000 and wheels. So wheels, 8 wheels. There's another $200. So let's just say you got $1,500 worth of parts that you've got to replace on all 4 gates in order to get it up to, if you will, the new standard for those parts. You just divide that $1,600 over the first year. So that's 4 payments of $400, and then just go ahead and put it on there new, right? Just right off the bat, you're going to subsidize it over the year, but they need to replace $1,600 worth of part.
Here's the next question. When you install the wheels on the gate, how would you install them? Would you weld them on? Would you bolt them on? Because if I got to replace them every year, I want to be able to put them on and take them off.
So the downside to it is the reason why you're taking them off is because they've seized, right? Or they're starting to seize, or they sound bad, which means that they're starting to seize as well. I would put it in a 4x4 or 6x6 box, depending upon the size of the wheel. And they're actually a little bit bigger than that. And then that has just a through bolt that goes through the wheel. Those are pretty quick to replace. If anybody's ever been to my class, I show them how to modify a 2-ton jack as well as build your own jack stands. And it shouldn't take you any longer than, if you're servicing them every quarter, the bolt coming in and out is generally where you have the hardest problem, is because the nut has seized or the bolt has seized to the wheel or the box. Okay. So once you get to that, I mean, all bets are off. You've got to cut the bolt off, the bolt head off, the nut off, and then you have to pry the box open a little bit to get the wheel out. It is 10 times easier to go out there with a new box and a new wheel, cut that box off. It'll take 10 minutes, and then weld the new box on. You're done per wheel in about 20 minutes. But to replace it, which if the bolt will come out, you're talking about 10 minutes to replace a wheel. Now, if you're doing 4 of them, it'll be like 30 minutes.
Now we got different options on the gate. We're thinking about building out a pipe, out of black coated pipe.
Powder coated pipe, yeah.
Well, no, just vinyl coat.
Vinyl. Yeah, but the pipe is not vinyl coated. The pipe's just powder coated, and the chain link is vinyl coated.
I'm gonna have the chain link inside the frame.
Okay, yeah. And you're gonna do it out of pipe, you said, not square tube.
That's what we're debating on right now.
Square tube is nice for the initial install, and then after that, it really doesn't fucking matter. Because square is just nice because when you're doing your chain brackets and you're doing the boxes, all that stuff is square. And then when you're welding, so what we would do is just put like a, you would know what it is. But when you're doing chain link and you have the galvanized bolt and the galvanized nut to do around your tension bands and your rings, it comes like a 3/8 nut for your chain link. So you have your tension band, you have chain link, and then to bolt the clamp that goes around the post, you would use the clamp, and then you have a nut and a bolt. Well, anyways, you take those nuts and then you weld them every 12 inches down on the frame and every 12 inches on top. I call them pig rings. I know they're not pig rings, but then you use hog rings all the way around through that nut onto the chain link. That's if you're going to inset it. So square is a lot easier to do that than round pipe. but it's still like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I mean, it doesn't matter. I just like the square. It's
at
easier
the
to
top
look
of the gate, we're gonna have guide wheels.
Okay.
That's gonna go on both sides, and
So you have to inset it.
Yeah. So it's gonna have a little bit of maybe a little bit of wiggle room right there, won't it? Because you don't want it jammed tight on the pipe, do you?
That's very God, man. I can't tell you how many people fuck this up because they call them pinch rollers, and pinch rollers aren't made to pinch. You don't ever want both rollers touching the gate at the same time because now they're all fighting against each other. So yeah, on a straight gate, you would want a good maybe 16 to an 1/8 inch. If you had a 1/4 inch, it wouldn't hurt. If you had a 1/2 inch, it really wouldn't hurt either. But yeah, you want some play in there, just the 1/8 inch thickness or 1/8 inch, and you should be good. But you don't ever want the rollers to touch
Both sides.
both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a cantilever gate. You don't want all 4 wheels touching.
Yep.
Then it won't roll. It'll
That's
jam
right.
up. So, yeah.
So with your pinch rollers, you don't want to do that. And that's another reason why I like square frame as well too. It works better with pinch rollers. Obviously, if you're insetting everything, you don't have any obstructions. But if you do surface mount the material, whatever the material is, you can obviously put a piece of flat over that, over the whatever the frame is. You basically just weld. Let's say that you're doing board on board. You would take a piece of 1/8 inch by 2 inch strap, weld it out so the board and board can fit in between it, and then just all the way down, make that 1/8 inch thick strap 2 inches, and use that to touch your one roller, and then the back of the frame to touch the other roller, whether it's pipe or square tube. But I just like the square tube. The downside to the square tube is now you're talking your tension bands are the same, your chain link, your material's the same, and how to mount it on there is the same. But the clamps, sorry, I can't remember what the clamps are, but the clamps that go around the frame that mount to the tension band, they're square. What's it called?
Tension band.
Yeah, you have your tension band, but what's the clamp that holds the tension band on? You have round ones and square ones that goes around the pipe, and then it has 2 little legs, and then you put a bolt through it on the other side of the tension band. So whatever those clamps are called, clamp rings, C rings, D rings, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But
I use a brace band, and I'm just going to use tension wire.
Okay.
And use the tension bands to hold the wire on. Use the brace bands to hold the tension wire on to keep the wire from flopping.
I think that might be what it is.
Well, some people use an eye hook and drill a hole through the upright of the gate, and use an eye hook or they got these little J clamps that they drill a hole through the upright of the gate and tighten it up, and it hooks onto the flat bar of the wire and pulls it tight, snugs it in. There's so many different ways of doing it. So, but we're going to do the simple way.
So the brace band is what I'm talking about. So when you're doing square frame, unless that's what you're doing all the time,
and we're not, and also we don't mess with square frames. So that's why we're saying, well, if we build out a pipe, we got everything here for that. So
that's my point. So you don't end up with any extra. Now, if the supply house is right next door and they'll allow you to return stuff, you buy 20% more of the material that you need and fucking just take it back when you don't need it.
Most people am the supply house where I live at. So
oh, are you?
Yeah.
You're everything. So yeah, that's what I would do. But we're talking about a pimple on an elephant's ass. It's, you spend an extra $50 of materials to get the job done, and you just buy the black powder coated square tube 2 inch steel frame. But I just like 2 inch square on those so much better. Everything that you do in the future, it's so much easier to fucking mount shit to.
We're going to use 2.5 inch schedule 40
pipe.
Yeah, pipe.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it, and there's nothing wrong with doing it like that. But like I said, when you go to weld the wheel boxes on, or you go to weld the chain brackets on, you got to fight that pipe because you're welding something square to something round. Now, here's the other thing. What about if you have an edge? Which
that's easy.
I'm not a big fan of
That
newer
ain't
guys
no problem with putting I put edge on plenty of times. That's not no big
on
deal.
round pipe.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. I'm just saying it's so much easier to do it on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is easier to do it on square pipe. I mean, square tubing, but out here where I'm at, there's mainly just cantilever gates that are made out of pipe, and
Yeah.
so I'm accustomed to that. You just make sure you line it up in the center, and screw your bracket on, and then run your edge up in it, and that's it. But yeah, I can see your point. It's more challenging doing on the round pipe because keeping it square and making it look straight is the
Yeah,
challenging part.
every part of it is no fun. But once it's done, right? And then just like the chain bracket, or yeah, just like the chain brackets, like, okay, well, now I'm welding something flat to something round.
Well, I use the chain brackets that come with the automatics. They got the U-bolt, 2 U-bolts, 2 set screws, and then I
Yeah,
tighten them up, and then I take 2 big screws, and put them in the holes, and that keeps it locked in.
but that doesn't come. You have to buy that kit.
That comes with the automatic.
No, it don't.
Yeah, it does. Everyone I buy it does.
Well, yeah, because you got the redneck special. So out here in the
Yeah.
real world where we have these things called welders, we don't have to worry about that.
I don't want to be a welder no more.
Yeah. Man, I tell people this all the time. Welding's one of my favorite parts of this job, but I don't want to, or excuse me, welding's one of the favorite things that we do. I just don't want to weld anybody else's shit.
Well, I don't want. I hate have to grind, and
yeah.
that's the part I hate is grinding well down. Then it's hot as hell, and
Yeah.
you put that shield on, you sweat and beads of sweat, and like then the sunlight goes into your hood, and you got to put a shirt over your hood so the sunlight so you can see the weld. Because at that time and moment, you can't see the weld because the sun's coming inside your shield.
Yeah, but you walk away knowing that it's done, and that's
that's
the benefit of doing it as opposed to
I like to bolt things on and screw things on that I can, not everything. It works better that way because sometimes I may not be able to get out there, and I can send somebody to, hey, just take this screw up, put your new bracket on, screw it in, make sure it's straight, and bam, you're done.
There's nothing I could disagree with about that. But I just say that, when I go back to jobs where the chain bracket's out of alignment or any of that stuff, it's because it's not welded. So that's why I say weld everything that you can.
Well, I agree with you, but I disagree too, because you put my dip in my mouth. But
says one redneck to the other.
Yeah, every one that I go to that gets knocked around because I welded them, they're still knocked around, and they're damaged more. They're bent versus when you screw them in, it breaks the screw, and you could just go back and reuse the same bracket. That's why I started doing it.
Gotcha.
But I do, if it's a certain job where I need to weld it, I'll weld them up.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just like anything else where, like, I don't have to write down the inductance of an in-ground loop, right? But I do it anyway because I want to come back to it and go, what was it and what is it now? Most people will never, ever have to do that. You're going to test the insulation and the DC resistance and go, okay, it's got half an ohm and we're at 40 mega DC resistance and 30, 40 mega ohm of insulation resistance. Let's replace it, right? And who wouldn't want $1,000 sale to go back and say, hey, your loop's bad? But loops are a good way to make money. If people would do them right, they'd last forever, and you just get known to go out there and repair them. Man, I love loops. So, anyways, but yeah, that's what I would do. So you're going to go with the Door King telephone entry system on the new project?
Yeah, we're going to give them a price this week, and
Yeah.
that's what we're going to go with.
Who's your Door King rep out there?
Ryan Reynolds is the Door King guy in the Carolinas.
Oh, Brian Reynolds.
I think Brian or Ryan. I can't remember his name.
I think it's Brian Reynolds. Yeah, because he
also
does.
He's got a clay shoot tournament coming up with the Carolina Fence Association on March 26th, I believe, and I'm gonna try to go to that. So,
gotcha.
And it's right down the road from my house. It's like about an hour and a half from my house, and I got a gate in that area.
How far is? I wonder how far demo days is, because I'm trying to make it out to that. But I got the mark. I got
probably about 4. It depends on where they're at. If they're in Tampa, where are they at? Tampa?
I don't know.
Well,
I'll look it up while we're talking about it.
You're not going to be that far away where you'll be able to shoot on down there, because you're right there on 95, and you'll be able to shoot on down to Florida real quick. Georgia will be the most of your drive probably, but it'll probably be about a 4-hour trip, because it takes me 10 hours to get to Miami from Fayetteville, North Carolina, 10 and a half or so, something like that.
Well, if we can go March 26th and 27th, I got to see when that class I got is. Maybe that's something I could try to see if I could do it down there. Event B. Yeah. So, anyways, it says on FWA's website 2026 demo days. It says Orlando area, but it says Astatoula, Florida.
That's probably in that area.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll probably have to agree with you on that one there. Let's see your location, which is Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, go ahead and do it from there. Let's see, 6 hours and 30 minutes. So it's an 8-hour drive with stops, 440 miles.
You got to
what should happen? But what should happen is my podcast partner should pick his ass up about 3 o'clock in the morning and drive his ass over here and pick me up. That's
we better get some sponsors to help. I got a sponsor.
Oh God, that's always my favorite thing when you're like,
hey,
look, I got a sponsor.
It's a hunting. It's called AllenBrothersOutdoors.com. And I got my new platform, Bladen County Live Entertainment and News. Now I'm an owner of a news organization now. So that's why I got
Allen Brothers what hunting?
AllenBrothersOutdoors.com.
Outdoors
with an S.
Outdoors with the S.com. Mm-hmm. Shit, man. Tell them we got all the rednecks that they need.
And that's a mile from my house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So, and they do pheasant shoots, quail hunts, and then they got a gun store called the Candy Store. They got fishing gear and stuff like that for the local area. That's it right there. And if you got like I went there Friday, I just rolled up in there and say, I'm going to see what's going on today and take some videos, because I'm promoting where I live at, things to do in Bladen County, North Carolina, which is a rural area. And these guys from Raleigh, Winston-Salem, the bigger cities of North Carolina and more population areas, they were supply companies like that supply for the hardware stores and all that, and they all get together and come out there. And I got a video on my Facebook page of the hunt, the Bladen Live Entertainment News.
What are they hunting?
They got deer hunts, they got duck hunts, they got pheasant hunts, they got quail hunts, dove hunts. all that stuff. And then they got a wedding venue out there, and you can stay overnight there too. They got like there was at least 20 guys out there that stayed overnight.
Look at all those poor little babies.
Oh, they're good too.
They taste good.
Damn right.
Damn.
And he sponsored me. I went and told him, look, I said, you give me $200, I'll post videos and put your website on every video I post, and every time I DJ here at White Lake, North Carolina, I'll let everybody know, and I need you to give me a couple hats so I can give them out and stuff to people that show up at my shows. And so that's my first sponsor.
So
I'm gonna move him on into organization too.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining Two Smooth Operators, everybody. It's Robert Evers and Michael Brooks. We just wanted to tell you about a new sponsor that we have, Allen Brothers Outdoors, AllenBrothersOutdoors.com, your number one go-to for firearms, for hunting trips, for ranges, and they got friendly, helpful staff, and they're more than just a gun store. You could go there and you could buy shotguns, rifles, pistols, gun safes, ammunition holsters, and accessories, all brought to you by AllenBrothersOutdoors.com. Thank you guys for coming and stopping by and helping us out with the podcast. 910-648-6525. You can call any of the brothers and they will help you out. What's their slogan? Your one-stop shop for firearms, ammunition, and accessories. They have expert staff, top brands, and they will do your concealed carry weapons training classes. Visit us today at Allen Brothers Outdoor Solutions. Shit, if it don't get no better than that.
Mm-hmm. And they've started this 25 years ago, 26 years ago, and he's a farmer. They got hog farms, chicken farms, and cattle. And he also worked in the industry. I think the hospital industry. I don't know exactly what he did, like administration or something like that.
Yeah.
And his brother worked the farm stuff and worked different places, I think. But they're really cool people, and it was gracious of him to trust me, and just give me some money to help me out with my endeavor with the DJing and the podcasting and my new platform for Bladen Live Entertainment News. And
I know that
cool.
I know that area is in need of gate technicians. I'm wondering if the old gate tech school could possibly do something out there.
Yes, that's a very big possibility.
All right. Well, everybody stay tuned.
Come up with the money to do it. Y'all got to pay up.
Everybody stay tuned. This beard will get longer.
Or we can get some vendors and come out there and represent their gate operators and their stuff, and we can do a class and do a shoot and all that kind of stuff and make it a whole package deal.
Yeah. You know who would be good to call on that one? Is old Brian and Susan at the FWA. So they could come into Charlotte, which is a big market for fence and gate operators. So we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned to more of that. But we definitely want to, Robert and I actually have a vision of how we want to teach fence and gate operators. And it's a passion of ours, and it's something that we're working on. So we just got to find the location. And we've got plenty of people that are supporting us on it. So pretty excited about that. All right, Robert, we're going to bust this thing out, get back to work.
Yeah, man.
Looks like I got a wig on. All right, let's hit it.
You're part of the wig party.
Shoot, man.
Oh, wrong one.
Don't get us no copyright violations right now.
Yeah.
Lee.
Let me see. Two Smooth Operators, your host, Robert Evers and Michael Brooks. Please stay tuned for a good episode. Peace. There you go.
Look at that. That's a little something to think about. Look at that. All right, we're out.